Now, the physiology of digestion. Digestion is the process of conversion of complex non-diffusible materials into simple and diffusible materials. That means whatever the food material we are taking every day as a breakfast, lunch and dinner, all the food materials containing the similar type of chemicals, the macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. Complex biomacromolecules are carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. Lipids. So complex biomacromolecules, they are huge in complexity. That is why they are not absorbable into the blood. That's why they are undergo digestion process in the digestive system. That means carbohydrates converted into their corresponding simple diffusible materials called glucose or galactose. Proteins are converted into amino acids and lipids converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So for our convenience, we are divided the physiology of digestion in majorly three headings. First one, the digestion in the buccal cavity. Secondly, the digestion in the stomach. And lastly, the digestion in the small intestine. Digestion in the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity is the part in the human digestive system, the space between the upper and lower jaw, that is called buccal cavity. Already in the previous videos, we already discussed about the parts present in the human digestive system. Mouth leads to buccal cavity. So, our topic now, the digestion in the buccal cavity. The space between upper jaw and lower jaw, this is called buccal cavity. Teeth. Buccal cavity performs two major functions: mastication. Mastication is the mixing of the food materials along with cutting and churning. The teeth, saliva and tongue, they make the food material in the buccal cavity mixing properly with the saliva. That is called mastication. After mastication in the mouth, the food material converted into round shape and ready to swallow into the next part, that is called stomach. The round shaped food created by the mastication in the buccal cavity, that is called bolus. Deglutition. Deglutition nothing but swallowing. After making the bolus in the buccal cavity, tongue pushes that food material into the pharynx and then into the esophagus, that is called swallowing, that is called deglutition. Saliva in the human beings containing two types of enzymes. One is salivary amylase. Second one, lysozyme. Salivary amylase converts carbohydrates into maltose and sugars. Means 30% of carbohydrates digested in the buccal cavity. That means the digestion process is started in the buccal cavity, and these 30% carbohydrates are converted into maltose in the buccal cavity by the action of salivary amylase. Next, coming to the lysozyme enzyme. Lysozyme enzyme is a antibacterial enzyme. That means it kills the bacteria which are present inside the food material present in the buccal cavity. Means the food material in the buccal cavity is free from the bacteria by the lysozyme enzyme. 30% of the carbohydrates are converted into maltose. And another important thing here, the proteins and lipids are not digested in the buccal cavity. The carbohydrate digestion started in the buccal cavity. The pH of the saliva is 6.8. 6.8 means it is in acidic medium. Salivary amylase acts on the carbohydrate in the acidic medium. Second, digestion in the stomach. Esophagus is the tube-like structure which facilitates transport of bolus from the pharynx to the stomach, and in the esophagus the bolus travels in a wave-like structure. The wave-like structure are present in the movement of the bolus in the esophagus, that is called peristalsis movement. Peristaltic movement. For the easy slipping or movement of the bolus, the saliva containing the mucus, that mucus forms a upper layer on the bolus, and then the bolus enters into the esophagus and easily slips into the stomach by the action of mucus present in the saliva. Except this, there is no digestion takes place in the esophagus. Next is the digestion in the stomach. Stomach is a bag-like structure. Looks like a bag structure. Food stores here approximately 4 to 5 hours. And the juice present in the stomach or the digestive juice secreted by the stomach is called gastric juice. Gastric juice. This gastric juice containing HCl, prorenin and pepsin. So these are the three types of chemicals. The three types of chemicals present in the gastric juice are HCl, prorenin and pepsinogen. The pH of the HCl is 1.8. So the pH of the stomach is very much acidic in nature. Pepsinogen, the name here gen, prefix as a pro or suffix as a gen to an enzyme. Those enzymes are inactive enzymes. Inactive enzymes cannot function as enzymes and they cannot participate in digestion. That's why these inactive enzymes must be active. For that purpose, HCl present in the gastric juice, it activates the prorenin and pepsinogen, and here prorenin converted into renin, pepsinogen converted into pepsin. converted into renin. This is inactive, this is active form in the presence of HCl. So this is the first reaction. Second reaction, pepsin converted into pepsin, HCl. So here this is also inactive enzyme, active. So like that, stomach, in the stomach the inactive enzyme, in the stomach the inactive two enzymes are converted into active. Once active, the pepsin is also converts some of the pepsinogen into pepsin. That means once the HCl converted pepsinogen into pepsin, the pepsin is very much active, and this pepsin also converts pepsinogen into pepsin. This type of reaction is called autocatalysis. Converted into pepsin by pepsin itself. This is called autocatalysis. By the autocatalysis reaction, pepsin, once created by the action of HCl, immediately converts remaining pepsinogen into the pepsin. This type of reaction is called autocatalysis. Now, the action of enzymes in the stomach. The enzyme action in the stomach. First one, renin. Renin is an enzyme present in the children. This renin is responsible for curdling of the milk. That means conversion of milk into curd. This is carried out by the enzyme renin. Casein, in the presence of renin and calcium ions, paracasinate. Calcium paracasinate, also called as curd. Along with this, it also produces proteases. So here, casein is a protein. It is a protein present in milk, also called milk protein. The milk protein casein, in the presence of renin and calcium ions, converted into calcium paracasinate and also proteases. Calcium paracasinate is called curd. Now, this calcium paracasinate converted into peptones. And proteases. Peptones and proteases in the presence of an enzyme is called pepsin. Proteins. Whatever the proteins present in the stomach, the bolus, that proteins are converted into proteases and peptones.